The 2021 NFL season is coming down to the wire here in our Madden 22 franchise with the Philadelphia Eagles. In this one, the Birds will be hosting their divisional rivals, the Washington football team, here in a very important Week 15 contest. The Eagles need all the wins they can get to hold on to their playoff hopes, so winning this game would be very important. Before we talk about today's game against Washington, we do have our third prospect profiles of the season, in which we will be going over offensive and defensive lines. No, these are not the most sexy positions on the field, but having good play in the trenches can be the difference between a great team and a team that's not great. This is a talented offensive line class with 6 first-round projected guys, and we're going to start with those first-rounders, the worst of which, in my opinion, being left tackle Coda Montana out of FIU. Late third-round talent. He's probably going to be a top 10 pick, though. I do really like his upside. He is only 22, so I think he could be worth a first-round pick when it's all said and done. Valescu Markovici out of Michigan State is one of the most polished players in this year's draft class. He is a late first-round projection, but an early first-round talent. The Eagles could absolutely look at left guard in this year's draft class, with Isaac Seumalo probably not being the left guard of the future, and Landon Dickerson having positional flexibility to possibly be able to move over to center. Markovici could make a lot of sense for the Eagles, but if they prefer to draft a center, Westlake's Elton Smith would also work. Smith is a little bit undersized at 6 foot, 293 pounds, but the talent is immeasurable. I think he's one of the best centers to enter the draft in a long time, and he would make sense in the middle of the first round if the Eagles want to get younger on the O-line. Now, Westlake has probably 3 or 4 really good offensive linemen in this class, none of whom, in my opinion, are better prospects than Kyle Harris for right guard. He is a veteran, 23 years old already, but he's been probably the best offensive line on Westlake for a number of years now, and I think he is going to be one of the better guards immediately out of the gate. So 2 early first-round talent guards in this class with Markovici and Kyle Harris. Yvonne Bell out of Duke is a really interesting player in my opinion. He has been their right tackle the past 3 seasons, and he is a little bit raw. Probably going to go in the top 10 to 15 picks, although I see him more as a late first-round talent. But questions are arising if he can be a true blindside blocker. Now, in his defense, Duke's current quarterback, a true freshman named Kalen Dannon, is a lefty. So Yvonne Bell has been the blindside blocker this season, and he has done a really good job, which has really made scouts turn their heads on him and has really improved his stock. The other first-round offensive lineman is John Thompson out of Westlake, who has been the starting right tackle the past 4 seasons. Thompson's been a little bit inconsistent at times, but I think he is well worth a first-round pick. And he has to go up against Jabari Achebe, who is in next year's draft class, every day in practice. And I think that really goes to Thompson's benefit because Achebe has the modern size and athleticism to today's NFL edge rusher. So I think that'll really help Thompson out the gate. There are some good mid-round left tackles, such as Tyler Palumbo and Eric Maldonado, both of whom played in the SEC at LSU and Florida, respectively. Westlake's left guard, Avery Horn, is a late first-round talent, projected to go in round 5, so that could be a steal for whoever picks him up. Now, there is not a ton of offensive line depth throughout this draft class. It is hard to find guys I like scattered on the board. There are a few centers, such as Otmar Shepard and Mike Oxlawn. I know, what a name. But other than some of those guys, and I guess Blake Austin out of Harvard, who has a lot of upside, this is a very top-heavy offensive line class, but really lacks depth outside of the first round. So if you want a good offensive lineman, you're probably going to have to pick them sooner than later. Now on to the defensive line. The top projected pass rusher is Jaquarion Alabaster III from the University of Alabama. He is one of the top defensive players in this draft class, probably going to be the first defensive lineman off the board. This is a physical specimen who has really dominated the past couple seasons with the Crimson Tide. I think he's a little bit raw. His technique does need to be improved, but I think he absolutely has the upside to be a game wrecker at the next level. Another projected first-round pass rusher is Calvin Johnson out of Arkansas. No relations to the former Hall of Fame wideout Calvin Johnson. They just happen to share the same name. Calvin here is a little bit small, 6'6", 235, which is not ideal for a defensive end, but I do think this gives him a lot of positional flexibility. I think he can have his hand in the dirt and out of the dirt as a 3-4 outside linebacker, and I think that could really help him not be so scheme dependent. Rather, he could fit on pretty much any team. Looking at the right ends now, there's Omi Ongokwo out of Illinois, who I think is a pretty talented first-round projected prospect. But the name who really entices me here is Westlake's Russell Ingram Jr. 6'5", 250, another guy who's not overly big, but the talent is definitely there. The issue with Ingram has been consistency. Russell Ingram Jr. has failed to be a consistent pass rusher for Westlake. As a freshman, he had 8 sacks. In his second year, he had like 1 sack, but he was way improved as a run defender. He was a little bit more consistent as a junior and a senior, but if he can get consistent, man, he's going to be good. The brother of Calvin Johnson is Cameron Johnson, also out of Arkansas. He's probably going to be a 3rd rounder. One of my favorite late-round gems in this class is Ezekiel Echo out of Shippensburg. He's a local kid. I think he could be early day 3 value. Rio Willis Cruz out of Notre Dame could also be a good day 3 value pick as well. The top defensive tackle in this class is Akabuezi Uchichi out of Clemson. This kid is an absolute force. Just look at him mauling through some of these Duke offensive linemen. This is a guy who I really think the Eagles should eye up with their mid-first round pick, assuming they pick in the middle of the first round. Imagine him on one side and Fletcher Cox on the other side. That would be ridiculously scary. 2 of the most intimidating interior defensive linemen in the league on the same team. There's Roscoe Russo out of California, who looks to be a first-round bust. Sheldon House out of Westlake is a pretty good player. But the day 2 defensive tackle who intrigues me the most is Leopoldo Montverde out of South Carolina. Only 21 years old. He's one of the youngest players in this draft class. And although he has some work to do, he also has his pop moments. And what I mean by that is that he has a few splash plays that really impress you, but he doesn't have a ton of game-to-game consistency, which he really needs to improve on. But at only 21 years old, I think he has the physical tools to be really good. There are a few Westlake defensive tackles in this class, including Noel Payne, who in my opinion is one of the more polarizing players in this draft class. He declared after his redshirt sophomore season, was really good as a freshman, but struggled as a sophomore. He's only a late 4th round talent, but I think the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round talents are all pretty even, and with Payne only being 21 years old, he has a lot of upside and could be well worth a 3rd round pick. Vlad Van Vector also declared after his redshirt sophomore season, he is only 20 years old, and like Noel Payne, he is a little bit raw, but I think the physical tools are there and the upside is off the charts. A 7th round prospect to look out for is PJ Clarefart out of Oklahoma, who is a 2nd round talent, so he could be a major diamond in the rough. So going into the Week 15 game, the Eagles are currently the 7th seed with a record of 7-6 in a very close NFC East division, with the New York Giants also being 7-6 and the Washington football team at 6-7. Ryan Fitzpatrick is known to have that occasional game where he absolutely goes off, so if we game plan against him in the deep pass, we'll make sure that does not happen against us. On offense, I want to continue to run the ball because that has been very inconsistent for us this season, and Washington's front 7 is one of the best in the NFL, headlined by a loaded defensive line featuring players such as Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, and others. So our offensive line is going to have their hands full, but they still have to produce in what might be the most important game of the season yet. The 6-7 Washington football team facing off against the 7-6 Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles still have the inside track to make the postseason, but if Washington wins this game, then the wild card race and the race for the division could get real interesting. 3rd and 10 here on the opening possession for the football team, as it's only a gain of 9 for Steven Sims. A big stop by Philadelphia, but unfortunately Javon Hargrave is hurt, going to the locker room. He will be out for the game, so a pretty big loss there for the Eagles. Milton Williams and others are going to have to step up at defensive tackle. So Philadelphia has the ball. Miles Sanders, his first carry of the game, is a pretty good one for 11. Miles Sanders has had some good performances this year. He's had some bad performances. Hopefully, if he can start this game off well, it can be a good one. And so far, he has really started off well, getting 12 on that run. And so far, so good for the Eagles offense. 3rd and 7, it's a play-action fake for carry-on. Jalen Hurts going to sail it deep for a wide-open Hakeem Butler. who brings it to the 3-yard line. A huge reception for Butler, who has really shown some flashes as the tight end 2 on this team, and that's probably his best play as an Eagle yet. First and goal, Miles Sanders with the rock. He gets the score, and the Philadelphia Eagles will start this one on top. A very nice drive from the Birds, finished off by a nice Miles Sanders touchdown run. So now Washington has the ball back. 3rd and 1, a handoff for Antonio Gibson, the second-year pro out of Memphis, who gets the first down. Gibson is a very dangerous runner, but he's arguably even better as a receiver. So the Eagles defense is going to have their hands full with him and J.D. McKissick, who is a pretty good number 2 back. Speaking of McKissick, he gets the catch here on 2nd and 10, fighting his way for a first down, eventually wrapped up by Terrell Burgess at the 34. Now from the 24, Fitzmagic will connect with Steven Sims, who brings it inside the 5. So far, it looks like Sims has been the go-to target over McLaurin, over Curtis Samuel, over Logan Thomas. So Fitzpatrick's priorities in the pass game have been a little bit surprising today. First and goal, Ryan Fitzpatrick breaks the sack, and he will connect with Scary Terry. It's Terry McLaurin for the touchdown, and Washington will tie the game up. Remember, the Eagles could have picked Terry McLaurin, but instead they had J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I know Eagles fans don't like to be reminded, so I won't do it again. Big sack there for Montez Sweat. Isaac Seumalo hurt on the play. Lane Johnson was also banged up at one point. He is back, but the Eagles' offensive line has gotten hit early by the injury bug today. 3rd and 20, short pass for Jalen Reagor. He gets to the 40. Efficient start for Jalen Hurts. He is 6 for 7, 67 yards. That one will not go for a first down as the first quarter is concluded. Tied at 7. Neither side has really broken away yet. On 3rd and 4, again, it is Steven Sims who jukes out the defender. Somehow still alive, and he is pushed down at the 19-yard line. What a play after the catch by Steven Sims, who has really looked impressive early in this ball game. And the Washington football team now has it in the red zone with an opportunity to take the lead. J.D. McKissick with the handoff, and he will power his way into the end zone for a Washington football team touchdown. And Washington will take a 14-7 lead. The Eagles started off really hot these first couple of minutes, but Washington is quickly stormed back to take their first lead of the ball game. It is a jet sweep on first down for Devontae Smith, who gets a nice gain of 12. Smith has been a little bit quiet these past couple of weeks, but he does still narrowly lead the NFL in receiving yards. 3rd and 3, Jalen Hurts stopped on the read option by Montez Sweat. So Philadelphia's offense is stopped once again. On 4th and 5, it's Aaron Stiposs out for the punt, and this one is an absolute beauty. It'll be down at the 5-yard line by Michael Ojemudia, and Washington will have very bad starting field position. First down near the goal line for the football team. It's a handoff for J.D. McKissick, who trucks away the defender to get Washington out of safety zone. McKissick has seemed to have gotten more touches today than Antonio Gibson, which has definitely been a little bit surprising. But McKissick has played pretty well, so I guess you got to keep giving him a ball. On 3rd down, tough pass for Steven Sims again, who brings it to the 36-yard line. And Sims has just absolutely been killing Avonte Maddox in the slot today. And Maddox has had a great year in my opinion, but today, so far, it's been pretty rough. On 1st down, it's a dump off for McKissick, who's going to get the first down to the 36-yard line. And Washington has completely taken all of the momentum in this game. They have been dominant for the past 10 minutes or so. 3rd and 2, it's going to be a handoff, and that will go for a first down and more. But there is a flag on the play, and this one's going to be coming back. A holding against Washington. So instead of having a first down in the red zone, it is now 3rd and 12 from the 39, which isn't even really field goal range. That was the left tackle, Charles Leno, called for the holding. And on the new play, Fitzpatrick will be picked off. Darius Slay with his 8th interception of the season, and the Eagles force a huge turnover. That wasn't even that bad of a throw by Fitzpatrick. The receiver he was looking towards was open, but Darius Slay got to the ball in the nick of time, swiped it away from the receiver's hands, and adds yet another interception to his NFL-leading total. So the Eagles force a massive turnover to totally change the tides of this game. We'll see if they can capitalize. On 2nd down, here's Miles Sanders down the field, trucking the defender. And he brings it all the way to the 25. Very impressive game so far for Miles Sanders. 8 carries, 70 yards. This appears to be one of his good games. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Washington up top 14-7, but the Eagles are awfully close to the end zone. On 3rd and 7, Hurts is going to go short for Devontae Smith, who will get the first down to the 7-yard line. And Philly is awfully close to this end zone. On 1st and goal, Jalen Hurts tries to scramble in, but he is instead sacked by Daron Payne, another name on this star-studded D-line. So the Eagles have been chewing some clock. There's now under 10 seconds to go. On 3rd and goal, it's a touchdown for Dallas Goedert. Very tough throw by Jalen Hurts on the run, and an even tougher grab by Goedert, who does a great job of keeping his foot in bounds. We got to look at this replay again. One of the best plays of the entire season, in my opinion, to tie this game up going into the halftime break. The Eagles needed that drive because their offense had been doing nothing since early in the first quarter, and now this game is knotted up at 14. Offensively, I still want to focus on running the ball. So far, it's been working, so why stop now? On defense, we're going to switch it up from the deep pass to the medium pass, mainly because Ryan Fitzpatrick really has not gone deep at all today, so it'd be kind of pointless to keep that. Philadelphia starting the second half with the ball as on 3rd and 7. The short pass is caught by Miles Sanders, who only gets about 4 yards. Travis Fulgham is now hurt on the play. The injury bug has been mean here in Philadelphia. The Eagles have not suffered any serious injuries, but they have had quite a few players go down in this game. So Washington has it back. It's J.D. McKissic on 3rd down with the reception and the first down. McKissic has been taking pretty much all of the snaps at running back since the first quarter. Antonio Gibson is not injured, though, so I don't know why he has not been in the game. On 3rd and 3, the fullback is stopped. Fletcher Cox, who's been one of the most dominant defensive players in the league, makes the play. I'm a little bit surprised by the play call to go for a fullback dive on 3rd and 3. Like, I get if it was 3rd and 1. Eagles back with it. 3rd and 8. It's a short pass for Quez Watkins, who only gets about 6 yards, about a yard shy of the first down marker. So far, both defenses have been very good in this third quarter. Neither offense has been able to do much of anything. 3rd and 9 from the opposing 47. Ryan Fitzpatrick going to take a deep shot for McLaurin, and it is broken up. Great play by Michael Ojemudia. Ojemudia struggled at first after the trade to Philadelphia, but he has really impressed me the past couple of weeks, and he's looked a lot better as of recent. Miles Sanders goes down for a loss of 3 on that second down carry. The first-round rookie out of Kentucky, Jamin Davis, is there with the tackle, and now it's 3rd and 13 for the Birds. Hurts is under a lot of pressure. He is a wide-open man deep downfield. It's Kenneth Gainwell who brings it to the 47-yard line. I see a lot of Antonio Gibson with Kenneth Gainwell. That's the comparison I made throughout draft season. And no, it's not just because they both played for Memphis, although that is true. 3rd and 2, it's Matthew Ioannidis, the local product, with the sack. The former Temple Owl with the play. That'll send the field goal unit out. It is a 50-yard attempt for Jake Elliott. The kick is good. And we finally have points here in the third quarter. A Jake Elliott field goal to put the Eagles ahead 17-14. Washington has the ball back. 2nd and 4. Fitzmagic goes short for Curtis Samuel, who's had a very quiet day, but he does get a nice gain of around 21 yards. Good play there for Samuel, the former Carolina Panther. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Not a lot of offense there in quarter number 3. The Eagles currently up top 17-14, but this is really anybody's game. First play of the fourth quarter, it is 3rd and 9. Fitzmagic gonna connect with McKissic, and he does not get much. Akeem Davis-Gaither brings him down on the tackle, so Washington again has to punt it. Their offense continues to struggle. On 3rd and 8, Jalen Hurts is sacked again, this time by Cole Holcomb. And the Washington pass rush has been, unsurprisingly, really good in this game. The Eagles' pass rush has been quite quiet. I don't think they've sacked Fitzpatrick once in this game. Philadelphia's going to try to change it on that play. They don't, but they do get the stop. On 3rd and 10, Logan Thomas only gets 9, wrapped up by Rodney McLeod. So yet another stop for the Eagles' defense. They would get it back on offense. 3rd and 6. Hurts, under pressure, tries to get it for Hakeem Butler, who actually had it in his hands, but the pass is incomplete. So Philadelphia is stopped again on offense, and Washington gets it back. The football team still has not scored in this second half, and this play's not going to help. Brandon Graham in the backfield forcing a loss of 14 on that sack, and that'll make it a 3rd and 24 for the football team. Washington's going to need a really big play here. Fitzpatrick going to take a shot, and it's intercepted by Rodney McLeod. He was hit on the throw by Brandon Graham and just felt like he had to get rid of it. So a huge turnover for McLeod, his 3rd interception of the season, and Washington is not looking good as Philadelphia gets it in the red zone. On 3rd and 5, Jalen Hurts is going to try to run for the first down, and he will. Great job by Jalen Hurts to fight for the extra yardage and keep the drive going. Philadelphia is having some trouble punching in as on 3rd and goal, Hurts is sacked again, this time by John Bostic. So the Eagles still fail to find the end zone, and the door is going to stay open a little while longer for the Washington football team. Jake Elliott does make the field goal from 24 yards out, so that'll make it 20-14. Ryan Fitzpatrick and the offense returns. Washington has, I don't think, gotten past the 50 in the second half, let alone scored, but they're going to need a touchdown probably on this drive if they want to win the game. If Washington loses, their realistic playoff hopes could be dead. Steven Sims with a nice first down reception. Unfortunately for Washington, Eric Flowers is hurt on the play. 2nd and 8 now for the football team. Ryan Fitzpatrick going to go short for J.D. McKissick, who gets the first down, quickly tackled by Davis Gaither. And McKissick is still stepping up in the strange absence of Antonio Gibson. Now at the 2-minute warning, this is literally anybody's game. Philadelphia up by 6, but Washington is marching down the field. McKissick with the handoff gets about 11 or 12 and brings it to the 14-yard line. Very next play, Fitzpatrick under pressure. He is sacked. Kayvon Wallace with a huge play, and that'll make it 3rd and 9 for the football team. 1:13 left to go in this ball game. Fitzpatrick goes short for Terry McLaurin, who gains 10. Washington with the first down. Now they just need to punch it in to take the lead. 2nd and goal. Fitzpatrick finds a wide open Steven Sims for the touchdown, and the Washington football team will tie it at 20. The extra point is good, so Washington is now up by 1, and they have all of the momentum. Now the Eagles still have 43 seconds and all 3 timeouts, and an opportunity to try to win the game. All Philadelphia needs is a field goal, as they are only down by 1. But unfortunately, Washington has the momentum bar completely filled up. Hurts breaks the sack and is able to throw it away. Great play by Jalen Hurts to avoid the sack. So instead of 2nd and long, it's now 2nd and 10. The Eagles are going to try to run the ball, but Miles Sanders gets nothing. Miles Sanders has 8 yards here in the second half on more rushing attempts than he did in the first half, when he had 70 yards. Kind of odd. 3rd and 10, Hurts going to go short for Quez Watkins, who gets about 4, and he is quickly out of bounds. So now it's 4th and 6. This is for the ball game. Hurts is going to look to throw it, and he will connect with Jalen Reagor, who will keep it alive, and the Eagles are going to call timeout number 2. This comeback is very doable. All they need is probably around 20 yards. Hurts will be sacked on first down. A gigantic QB takedown by Matthew Ioannidis. The Eagles are forced to call their final timeout, so they're going to need a quick out route here to keep the game alive. Hurts trying to thread the needle for Reagor. It's incomplete, but there is a flag. Defensive pass interference against the Washington football team. Automatic first down against Bobby McCain. And now from the 46, the Eagles are going to send the field goal unit out. Now this seems like an odd call, but Jake Elliott has an absolute boot. He's super clutch, and he has the wind for him. The game winner from Elliott is no good. It was wide to the left. I'm not sure if it had the distance. That was awfully close. I told you Jake Elliott had a boot, but unfortunately, he was not accurate, and that's how the game is going to come to a close. The Washington football team will take the win 21-20 in a late game thriller. This loss hurts, and to be honest, we had no business losing this game with how well our defense played in the second half, how well we ran the ball in the first half, and how efficient Jalen Hurts was from start to finish. So we really should not have lost this game, but we were unable to come up clutch down the stretch. Washington had a big drive on offense when they needed to, and we were unable to get enough going there towards the end of that game. Despite that, there was a lot to like. Ryan Fitzpatrick had a busy day, typical of Ryan Fitzpatrick. A lot of big plays, multiple turnovers as well. But I thought Jalen Hurts was quite good. 21 for 28, 221, and a touchdown. Hurts did not take a lot of shots downfield. He wanted to be very efficient today, but he avoided those bad turnover-worthy throws. And this is just Hurts' second game all year without throwing an interception, which is great to see. Miles Sanders had 8 carries for 70 yards in the first half and 10 carries for 8 yards in the second half. If that does not summarize Miles Sanders this year in one statement, I don't know what will. McKissick had a nice game, stepping up for Antonio Gibson, who exited the game late in the first quarter for whatever reason. Looking at the receiving game, who were Washington's top receivers? It was not Terry McLaurin, not Curtis Samuel, not Logan Thomas, not Antonio Gibson. It was Steven Sims, who had 10 for 133 and a score, and J.D. McKissick, who had 8 for 69. Nice. Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor headline Philadelphia's receiving. Dallas Goedert also had a touchdown. He got hurt towards the end of the game along with Brandon Brooks, but thankfully both of those players will be good going into next week's game against the Giants. Ioannidis had 2 sacks, 1 for Bostic, 1 for Payne, 1 for Sweat, 1 for Holcomb. So Washington got to the quarterback 6 times, yet Jalen Hurts still was not flustered. Interceptions for Slay and McLeod, and of course Jake Elliott missed the game winner. Obviously, in hindsight, I would not have called the field goal because that's what lost us the game, but I don't think that was a bad decision. Again, if anyone's going to make a 63-yard kick at the end of the game with the wind going for him, it's going to be Jake Elliott. So entering Week 16, we are now 7-7. We are no longer in the playoff picture, but have no fear. The Giants just lost, so they're now 7-7, and the Washington football team is also 7-7. So it's a 3-way tie for first, with Dallas right in the mix as well at 6-8. And these next 2 games, Week 16 against the Giants and Week 17 against Washington, are so important. By the way, the Colts and Dolphins keep losing, which is great. Indy is the worst record in the league, so we're still projected to have the top pick in the second round. The Dolphins are 4-10. That pick, as of now, looks like it'll be in the top 3, and we own their first round pick, which is gigantic. So hopefully those 2 teams can keep losing, and hopefully we can keep winning. With, as I said, our 2 biggest games of the season on tap, we have to win them both because the Giants and Washington both currently own the head-to-head tiebreakers against us. So we need to win both of these games, I think, to stay alive in the division. And if we want to win a wild card spot, I think we have to go at least 2-1 in these final 3 games and hope we get lucky. So that's going to end today's episode. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Peace out.